Well, tonight we're also asking questions about how a little tidying up around the house could support those in need. A great example is that stash of hotel toiletries that many might have sitting and collecting dust inside their homes. And joining me now is the Marketing and Communications Manager at YWCA, Caitlin Schroeder. Caitlin, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Let's talk about these household items. How can they help out organizations such as the YWCA? And before people throw them out, how can they be used?
Yeah. Organizations like YWCA, we serve hundreds of women a year. And people might not realize that unopened toiletries can go towards serving women living in shelter, women fleeing abuse, and women in our housing programs.
And we're talking about cleaning because obviously we're heading into fall, getting ready for winter. We talk about spring cleaning a lot. There are different seasons where people want to declutter their homes. Why are items like this so helpful? And are there certain times of year where you need them more than others?
We are a 24/7 shelter, so we need them. We need hygiene items really any time of year. Folks can drop them off anytime. I would say that it's helpful to make sure you think about us in maybe the off season. Maybe folks think about us in holidays or big giving events, but it's important to make sure you keep shelters in mind all year round.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing that cleaning as we head into winter. But yeah, as you mentioned, some people might want to make this part of their routine where they're simply donating multiple times a year. So we're talking about toiletries specifically, but what are some of the biggest needs for YWCA right now?
Yeah, so YWCA Dayton, we run the only domestic violence shelter and the only rape crisis center in Montgomery and Preble County. So that means we have actually a huge need for new women's underwear and new women's socks. Folks coming into shelter, we're a high lethality shelter, so that means folks are at high risk of being harmed or killed in community. They are leaving very suddenly before they come into shelter. And so underwear is one of those things that you need immediately when fleeing abuse. When folks donate those kind of critical items that you can't live without, they're making a huge difference.
Yeah, clearly these are people who need a lot of love and support. For people who are watching right now, maybe they're just joining us, is there a place they can go maybe online and look at a list of those items that you need any time of the year?
Absolutely. YWCADayton.org. We keep a wish list, we update it regularly. And as we get into, special times like Thanksgiving, December when we do our holiday market, or back to school, you can always keep up with what is our latest and most current needs.
All right, about 30 seconds left. Lastly, Caitlin, is there a place specifically where they should go at the shelter to drop these items off?
Absolutely. We have a lobby at 141 West 3rd Street in downtown Dayton. Folks can drop them off. Flasher parking out front, and also our Preble County shelter accepts donations by appointment.
All right, if you're doing that cleaning ahead of winter, make sure you're keeping our local shelters in mind. Caitlin Schroeder, the Marketing and Communications Manager at YWCA, thank you so much for joining us here tonight.
Thank you for having me.